You've had quite the journey when it comes to your career. I think there's so many people out there that are just so confused about how to get to where you are. A lot of people either go into degrees purely out of pressure from their parents or complete degrees thinking that they love what they're doing. And then they go into the workspace and it's not entirely the type of role that they want to be in, or they're doing full-time jobs. And on the side, they're pursuing like a creative pursuit and never know when is the right time to make the switch. I know, and I really appreciate that you've been a bit open about your journey, and you even worked in the waste management industry at one point, and you were super open about it. You're like, yeah, guys, I worked in that industry, and I worked my way out, and I've done a bit of everything. And I love just how open you were, and to see where you are now, it's truly so inspiring.
Oh, thank you.
I'd love to pick your brains around what your journey was like and what were the risks that you took to get yourself to where you are right now.
So when I was in like high school, I absolutely loved makeup, and I never thought of it as like a career. I just thought of it as like, oh, I love makeup. And my ex-boyfriend at the time, actually, he encouraged me to get into it, like actually professionally. And his sister is a makeup artist. So I started talking to her. We started deciding what school I wanted to go to. And this was more so a certificate program. I did it while I was in university, getting a marketing management degree. I got the certificate over the summer, and I started working under his sister, just as a freelance makeup artist. I would go help her with clients and things like that. And throughout university, while I was doing this, I just fell in love with the job. I thought it was so much fun. I couldn't believe that you can make money off of your passion. And I think that's what really intrigued me. And so when I left university and I graduated, I was like, man, this is like what I want to do. This is my passion. This is my calling. And I told my parents that, and they were so not on board. Yeah. Like they were okay with me doing makeup, but as a side thing, like not like as a full-time career. And so I just kind of listened to them. They were like, well, you're not going to really make a lot of money in the first like couple of years. And what are you going to do? Like, how are you going to pay your bills? And like my parents kind of cut me off financially when I was like 17. They paid for major things. Like I didn't have to pay rent. I didn't have to, while I was in university, I didn't have to pay for my car insurance. I think those were the two major things. But other than that, I paid for everything else. And sorry, they also helped kind of pay for my education. But other than that, like all the other things, I kind of had to pay for on my own. So it made sense why they were saying that. And I was like, okay, fine. I got a job. That's when I worked in a waste management company doing a job that I absolutely hated. I was like sifting through garbage and constantly like either on a garbage truck or like just doing gross garbage related things. And it was awful. And I hated every second of my life. And I thought to myself, I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like I have to follow my passion. Otherwise, I don't know where things are going to lead to. I feel like I'm missing out on so many opportunities. So one of the biggest, I think, risks that I took was not listening to my parents and quitting a stable job where I was making good money, that I knew I could kind of grow in, and just starting my own thing from scratch. And I think that was so scary to do. I remember the day after I quit my job, or sorry, the day after I finished my job, and I like woke up the next morning and I was like, shit, like what do I do now? Like how do I make money? This is all on me. And there was so many factors that were weighing me down at the time. It was not really having any money. My parents weren't very supportive of it. I didn't have any clientele really, like at least not a strong clientele base. I didn't really have a following. I really had nothing going for me. So there was all those risks that I needed to kind of overcome. And it was quite, I guess, the sacrifice that I made and journey. Yeah. And I mean, eventually things worked out because I'm here now and life's good. But like back then, everything seemed like a disaster. Like it just seemed like I had all these broken pieces and I needed to somehow put them together and make a masterpiece. And I had no idea what I was doing.
Well, started from the bottom and now you're here. Like you like literally worked so hard. Like I think it's so easy to like feel like you're in a dump metaphorically. and you motivated yourself. Like you knew that, you know what, I'm going to work towards doing something that I love. And I think a lot of people settle. A lot of people settle and mentally they're in a bit of a lockdown. So it's so amazing to see you just realize that you had a potential in another space and you wanted to grow and you did it. And I think your parents taught you such a huge lesson by making you so financially independent from a young
Yeah.
age. Same situation with me. Like I had to support myself. I'd been earning since high school. And
Same.
just
Yeah.
like certain things were covered in terms of like not having to pay for rent for the house or mortgage or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And at the time you're just like, what the hell? Like every other kid gets like things covered for, and why do I have to, you know? But like now I look back and I'm sure same as you, you're just so thankful because you're taught so much about your finances and you're pushed to go out and build your career.
It's a blessing and a curse for sure, because like growing up there was a lot of things that I couldn't participate in because like financially I couldn't afford it, and it was a toll on like relationship. It created tolls on relationships with some people as well, like especially like with my friends or like my boyfriends at the time or whatever. I always felt like I wasn't able to do the same things as them. Like they would always go out to movies, and I remember there was this one time where my friends were like, oh, I like, let's all go out to the movies, blah, 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 and like do dinner and all this stuff. And this other girl invited me to her birthday party. And I was like, okay, well, I can only go to one because I can only, like, my parents aren't going to pay for both things, right? And I had to use my own money. So I could only really afford going to one. And because of that, those friends that were just like going to and I chose the birthday because it's a birthday.
Yeah.
And my friends that were going to the movies and dinner or whatever, they like cut me off as a friend, and then they bullied me, and they would like walk past me like laughing at me, and like just like, and then they started spreading rumors about me. I was like, this is odd, first of all, but like it really does put that strain on you. But later on in life I feel like because I was so financially independent, it allowed me to do all these other things without being scared, I guess. Like I knew that I could live off of very little money. Like I knew that I could make money if I worked hard enough because I had in the past, right? And like you said, like you become more financially literate, so it's easier for you to navigate through that situation without being so worried about, okay, well, what am I going to do if I can't pay for stuff?
Yeah. You're right. You're right. And that's so horrible that they bullied you for it. But then again, like you were able to filter out who you wanted to be friends and then who you didn't, especially when you're going through such a hard time and they're judging you.